City at home. Arsenal away.
Dorking takes it with him. Dorking's left-footed effort. Oh, it's a screamer!
Villa at home.
Into the penalty area. Cunha scores for Manchester United.
Chelsea away.
Balls it back into the area. United in the front. Mateus Cunha.
When Manchester United parted ways with Ruben Amorim at the turn of the year, they had won just 4 of their past 12 games. Momentum wasn't just stalling, it was slipping away. Fast forward a few months, and under Michael Carrick, they have won 8 of their past 12. Yes, Carrick did move away from Amorim's much-debated 3-4-2-1 system, restoring a 4-2-3-1 that has allowed his players to shine in their natural roles. But the reasons for United's turnaround run much deeper than a simple formation change, and instead lie in the genius of Carrick's new game plan. So, what exactly has Carrick changed at United tactically and structurally to spark such a turnaround? When you picture how Carrick was as a player, you imagine a metronomic midfielder who plays safe but secure passes to lay the foundations for sustained possession. As a coach, his approach is more nuanced, but the influence of his pass-first instincts is already visible in the numbers from his first 12 games in charge. Under him, United's possession spells have become longer and more intricate than they were under Amorim, with sequences of more than 10 passes now occurring far more often, an increase from 9.7 to 12.2 such sequences per game. Longer spells usually come with a trade-off though, as they tend to slow the tempo. The question was whether that trade-off would materialise under Carrick. Under Amorim, United had already begun playing faster and more direct, ditching the slow build-up play from the back that plagued them last season like coronavirus, and in the process, cutting down turnovers in their defensive third. By match day 11, Amorim's side had attempted the 3rd most long balls in the league, and their attack, ranked 5th slowest last season, had climbed to the 8th fastest. Interestingly though, United's overall speed of play has remained almost unchanged under Carrick. Even more encouragingly, a greater share of passes now occur in the opponent's half, while their passes completed in the final third have risen from 77.2 passes per game under Amorim to 90.2. Playing fast, intricate football is a delicate balancing act, one that demands players who are technically sharp and composed under pressure, not cursed with the first touch of a donkey. It's also the style most United supporters crave, and crucially, Carrick has pushed the team noticeably closer to achieving that. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, we'd be incredibly grateful if you subscribed. Your support helps us grow and continue creating the content you love. Carrick's arrival has seen United emphasise playing more centrally than under Amorim. His team is operating closer together in the middle of the pitch to combine with speed, and favouring half-space play more often than Amorim, who relied more on his team shifting the ball out to the wing-backs to progress the attack. A key theme has been the reintegration of Kobbie Mainoo ever since his puzzling alienation under the dictatorship of Amorim. Under Carrick, the switch to a back 4 has allowed United to field an extra attacking profile regardless of their shape across different phases of play. Significantly, this has freed up a spot for Bruno Fernandes in the central number 10 role, in turn allowing Mainoo to slot right into the double pivot alongside Casemiro. His partnership with Casemiro, one that Amorim had deemed unfeasible, has been impressive in of itself, let alone the fact that it has freed up Bruno to flourish higher up the field. The wings still matter, of course, and much of United's play remains directed down the flanks, with the greatest threat coming from the right. Luke Shaw at left-back has regularly stepped inside to form a back 3 alongside the centre-backs, allowing Diogo Dalot to push higher on the right to combine with Ahmad and overload opponents down that side. As a result, the proportion of United's chances created from the right has climbed from an almost even split under Amorim to a clear right-sided bias under Carrick, and nearly 2 in every 3 of their crosses now come from that right-hand side. That said, the total number of crosses attempted has fallen sharply, but perhaps that is to be expected given that Carrick has favoured Bryan Mbeumo as his centre-forward despite Benjamin Sesko's hot goal-scoring form. The fact that the 6'5" striker started just 2 of Carrick's first 10 games may also explain why Sena Laman's hopeful, inshallah long kicks, a key component of Amorim's later approach, have been dialed down as well. There have also been changes to United's out-of-possession play too. For one, United's average starting distance when pressing has fallen. Amorim's 43.1 metres would have ranked them the 4th highest pressing team in the Premier League behind only City, Arsenal and Brighton, while Carrick's 41.8 metres puts them much closer to the league average. Carrick's derby win over City, admittedly an extreme case, captured the shift in approach perfectly. United sank into a narrow, disciplined 4-4-2 low block, squeezing the spaces City usually exploit between the lines. Up front, meanwhile, the improvised pairing of Mbeumo and Bruno Fernandes didn't chase blindly but picked their moments, springing aggressively with well-timed presses to disrupt the rhythm just as City looked ready to settle. The striking part? This more conservative foundation hasn't dulled United's bite, and despite starting from a deeper, lower-risk shape, they're pressing almost as frequently as before. A greater focus on set pieces has been a dominant theme league-wide this season, and United have been right at the heart of that trend. In fact, only Arsenal have bettered their total of 18 goals from dead balls. Among those, 5 have come since Carrick took charge, with Bruno's pinpoint deliveries to Casemiro proving particularly rage-baitful for opponents. There has been a subtle but significant tweak in their corner deliveries, though. Earlier in the campaign, Bruno and Mbeumo almost rigidly stuck to left and right corner duties respectively. But now Carrick has reintroduced more variation, including a return to the outswinger, adding an extra layer of unpredictability to their approach. Overall, United's set-piece output has dipped slightly on a per-game basis compared to Amorim's tenure. But considering Carrick's side are taking roughly a third fewer shots from set plays and scoring in more varied ways, it feels more like a shift in emphasis than a decline. The most obvious stylistic shift has come from throw-ins. Under Amorim, United leaned into the long throw trend, with Dalot in particular, turning restarts into attacking launch pads and helping generate 13 shots from those situations. Under Carrick, by contrast, that tactic has disappeared entirely, with not a single shot coming from a throw-in yet. Here's a fun fact. United have kept one more clean sheet in Carrick's 12 games than they did in Amorim's 20 this season, and while they were conceding 2.2 big chances per game before, that figure has fallen sharply to 1.3. Shot accuracy has climbed from 45.4% to 54.3%, and their conversion rate has improved from 10.3% to 13.8%. They're not just shooting more cleanly, they're making it count. But is it sustainable? Shot conversion rates can run hot and cold. Expected goals, however, tend to be a steadier guide to what's coming next. Defensively, United's non-penalty XG conceded has dropped to 0.9 per game, down from 1.3 before his arrival. Looking back, the biggest thorn in Amorim's tenure was that, for all the extra protection that was supposed to accompany playing with a back three, United still looked as porous as a broken condom. To Amorim's credit, his attack did compensate by generating 1.6 non-penalty XG per game. That has dipped to 1.3 under Carrick. But this trade-off has seen United's non-penalty XG difference per game rise to 0.42 under Carrick compared to 0.33 previously. Ideally, Carrick would like to coax a little more from the attack between now and the end of the season to stretch that margin further. Ultimately, results are what will strengthen or weaken Carrick's case to take the job permanently. But after 8 wins and only 1 defeat from his 11 games in charge, he has strengthened his case as convincingly as anyone could reasonably have hoped.
Listen, if this man can build something, he deserves it for me. I don't see the point in looking elsewhere, and you can always say, yeah, that looks good, oh yeah, that looks nice over there. You know what? Stick with what you got, baby.
If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more content like this. Also, don't forget to hit the notifications bell so you never miss a beat. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.